What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Two Pop to Handle. I am your host, Andrew Nucatola, your pop culture best friend. And as always, I hope you guys are having a fabulous week. I know I sure am. I can't even come onto this podcast and waste any time without talking about the fact that since we last spoke, I have interviewed Anne Hathaway. Saying that sentence out loud, it actually hasn't hit me until this exact moment. Mind you, it is Wednesday. This happened on Monday. It has been 48 full hours. Honestly, to the minute probably. I feel like it was literally around this time that I was literally chatting with Andy Sachs, Mia Thermopolis, the queen herself, Anne Hathaway. I genuinely still cannot believe it. It's truly such a wild experience. And I feel like I need to fill in some context. So I got an email probably 3 weeks ago to my work email for MTV asking if we wanted to cover the Mother Mary premiere. Now, if you've been listening to this podcast for the last couple of months, or you follow me anywhere, you might know that my most anticipated movie of 2026 has been Mother Mary since I read Anne Hathaway's Vogue cover. I think she was a September issue. She was either September, October, November. It was late fall last year. I read that. We covered it on the podcast, and I was like, guys, I cannot wait for this movie. It's going to be my most anticipated release of the year. And now the movie is coming out, so they are in full press mode, which, can we just give Anne Hathaway some credit? The fact that she is literally doing 2 press tours with The Devil Wears Prada and Mother Mary right now, she is unbelievable. But I get this email. I'm actually at happy hour with 2 of my friends, and I get this email, and I'm like, you guys, there's no fucking way I just got invited to cover the Mother Mary red carpet. So I email back. Obviously, I'm like, yes, we are in. We want to do it. And it takes so long to get confirmed. I emailed back the next morning because it was late. Obviously, I didn't want to seem too thirsty. You still gotta act a little cool and, act like you're not that thrilled. Mind you, I'm itching and bursting at the seams over this. So I get the email. I respond. I'm like, yes, we're in. We want to do it. And I literally get no confirmation until Friday night at 6:30, 7 o'clock. So after I log out of work for the day, after I'm done, I'm I may or may not be interviewing Anne Hathaway on Monday, and I have no idea. The confirmation comes through late Friday night, and I'm like, holy fucking shit. I'm literally interviewing Anne Hathaway on Monday. And I was so well versed in this movie already. I was already very up on it. I was reading, obviously, like I said, Anne Hathaway's Vogue cover. I've been watching interviews with the director and the rest of the cast, and just really, I've been very into this entire movie because it's such a unique concept. And so luckily I was very well versed on the movie already. So I didn't need to do much research to figure out what I wanted to ask them. But yeah, what the fuck do you mean? I literally went to the Mother Mary premiere. I just posted a TikTok about this, but I'm sometimes I scare myself with my manifestation powers because obviously last year, you guys know I did Freakier Friday, which was in fucking insane. This is on that level. This was my top movie I wanted to be involved with somehow. And though it wasn't through the podcast or through my content, it was through me, through work, which is so fucking cool. And I don't know, manifestation is scary and manifestation is very real. And I've been having this weird, what's the word I'm looking for? Conversation with myself over the last week or so, because last week is officially a year since I got laid off from my last job. And I am just looking at what's been going on in my life in the last year, not even the last 10 months since I got hired at MTV. And I'm holy fuck, my life has changed so much in the last year. It's actually fucking crazy. And I interviewed Anne Hathaway on Monday night. Hello, what the fuck do you mean? That is so fucking crazy. And we actually weren't supposed to be able to see the movie, but as I've learned, closed mouths do not get fed. And I just kind of walked up and I was like, hey, any chance you have extra screening tickets? They were like, oh my God, we actually have 2 more seats. And it was me and my coworker. And they were like, yeah, go in, you're good. I was like, holy shit, I'm seeing Mother Mary. So I've seen Mother Mary. I'll get into that in a second, but let me just say, Anne Hathaway, just as lovely as you would expect in person. She was so incredibly kind. We only got to ask her one question because she was pressed for time, but she was so sweet. She asked how we were. She was very just as lovely as you would expect. Also, Michaela Cole was there. She plays Sam in the movie, who is it's pretty much Mother Mary and Sam in the movie. The 2 of them are the main characters the entire time. And she was so incredibly lovely. Truly so sweet, so kind, was so thoughtful with her answers, and really, really, like when you go to a red carpet, you never know what you're going to get with these people. Like I've interviewed some people and they've just given me like dud answers because that's just, that's how it's going to be sometimes. Some people aren't as well versed or media trained. When I tell you Anne and Michaela were so incredibly professional, kind, caring, loving with their answers. Truly, like, I couldn't have asked for a better opportunity on this carpet. Like, it was seriously a dream come true. And then I get to see the movie after. It was everything I wanted and more. It met every single expectation. Now, it's an A24 movie, so you're going to go into it expecting one thing, and you're going to end up with 13 different outcomes and things that you didn't even think could have happened in this movie, and that is exactly what happened. So if you are going to see it, which I beg all of you, go see this movie. It was fantastic. It's out in New York and LA this Friday, and then it's out nationwide the 23rd or the 24th, whatever that following week is. Check their Instagram, it's all there. But it was fantastic. It was phenomenal. But there were definitely some twists and turns in it where I was like, I did not see that coming. But the music was great. The acting was great. Like, FKA Twigs wrote some of the music for it, and she's also in the movie. FKA Twigs' performance in this movie was incredible. This isn't like a spoiler so much, but she plays kind of like a psychic medium, and she does a seance, and she gets possessed in the movie, and she played the fuck out of this possessed diva. Like I was convinced there was a ghost and a spirit within her while she filmed this scene. She was so fantastic as this possessed psychic. Like, it was truly unbelievable. She's only in the movie for like 7 minutes total, I would say. And she was unbelievable. Anne's acting is unbelievable. Michaela's acting was unbelievable. Like, it was truly such a great film. Just, you could tell how vulnerable and raw they all got with each other. Because it's a very, I'm not going to give much away because I want you guys to go into it kind of with a clean slate, but it's a very like upsetting story in the sense of like how Mother Mary and Sam have kind of drifted apart over the years throughout their career, and now they're coming back together, and, you know, they're fixing some things, and, you know, maybe they were like Band-Aids over bullet holes kind of vibes, and they're like trying to refix that and figure out like what happened and what's going on. And through that, they kind of find out they have this thing that's been going on with the two of them, and it's this whole kind of story unfolding there. I don't want to give too much away, but it was fantastic. It was phenomenal. Like I said, the music was incredible, which leads me to why this week's episode is a day late. My apologies, but last night A24 was hosting a listening party for Mother Mary, and it was so fucking dope. It was in a church, which obviously, shocker, I don't attend church very often, and I do fear when I walk into a church that I might burst into flames. Like, my gay ass should not be within 20 feet of a church, but I willingly went to a church for Anne Hathaway because, like, not many people could get me to a church, but Anne Hathaway could. And they had like this little reception. It was like open bar. It was like wine for all of us kind of vibes, hanging out, whatever. Then we go up into like the actual church, whatever kind of, you know, space. And they do this entire light show to the entire album. There's 7 songs on the album that are like Mother Mary songs. 2 of them are out already, excuse me. And I've been loving those releases, so I was really stoked to hear the rest of the album. And they did this whole light show. I posted it on my story, but it's probably gone by now. But it's on my TikTok. So if you want to see it, go to my personal TikTok. I have it posted there. They did this whole light show throughout the church. It was like framing the stained glass and like bouncing off the walls. Each song had a different color, and like it looked like Windows Media Player, basically. That might be aging myself, but if you're my age and in my generation, you know Windows Media Player, where like you would play a song and it would make those weird fucking orbs and colors on your computer screen. That is what it felt like in this church. And like, I've never wanted to be high more in my life. Like, I wish I had an edible on me so bad, because if I was high for that, it would have been a even better, unbelievable experience. Like, it was unbelievable. I was like, wow, this would have been crazy on an edible. But you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. It was incredible. The music is great. I'm so stoked for this album to come out on Friday. So much music coming out this Friday, by the way. We'll get into that in just a little bit in the Drew Releases segment, but like, holy fuck, this week is stacked when it comes to music. I don't know like what everybody knows about what's coming soon, but like, everybody's dropping this Friday, and I'm a little stressed out about it. But before we get into all of our music and stuff, I've just had like a busy week, I guess. I have so much to catch up with you guys on. I also went to the premiere of You, Me, and Tuscany last week, and it was the perfect rom-com. I posted about this on TikTok, on YouTube, so I've already shared my thoughts on it, but I saw it I don't know, whatever night it was, Wednesday, Thursday night. It was the perfect rom-com, truly. Like, from start to finish, it was everything you want in a romantic comedy, from the acting, the plot line, the soundtrack. It was a little cheesy. It was so funny. Everything about this movie was just exactly what you want in a rom-com. And it felt like we were watching a movie from 2008. Like, it truly felt so authentically early 2000s. The acting was phenomenal. It was such a cute plot line. It was beautifully shot because they're in Tuscany for the entire movie, or I would say 90% of the movie. Just stunning, incredible storyline. It was everything you want in a rom-com, and like seeing the drama on Friday night and then seeing Yumi in Tuscany like 3 or 4 days later, it could not have been more opposite. Like, I left the drama and I did not stop thinking about it for 72 hours. I left Yumi in Tuscany and I was like, that was incredible. Like, I can move on to the next thing. It just like, it doesn't make you think much. You just get to enjoy it. It's like a fluff kind of movie. But trust me when I say it was incredible. If you love a rom-com, you will love this movie. Go see it in theaters. We need to let them know that like we want more rom-coms. So like the more people who show up to the theaters, the more likely we are to get more rom-coms. And this one's extra important because it is Black led. So we would love to see them casting more Black leads in rom-coms because it's not something that we get often. So get to the theaters, go see this movie, Yumi and Tuscany. It is out now. It was incredible. And finally, the last thing we will chat about in this intro before we get into the show, because there's a lot to chat about this week, you guys. I was making this outline and I was like, I am so sorry, Katy Perry, Ruby Rose, like we've got to cut you from the docket because there is so much to chat about. I saw Cats the Jellicle Ball last week. Now, I don't know how much of the saga I've shared with you guys on the podcast, but back in like September 2024, so this has been a long fucking time coming, I bought tickets to see Cats the Jellicle Ball off Broadway because I've heard so many good things about it and I was dying to see it. And like an hour before my show started, they canceled it, which I was so gutted because the show was closing, I think that Friday. Like I was going on like Tuesday, it was closing on like Friday or something. So like there wasn't time for me to see it. There were no tickets. Like it was just like, sorry, the show was canceled. The cast is sick. Here's a refund, which obviously thankful for a refund, but like, goddamn, that sucked. So then it gets transferred to Broadway. So I'm like, all right, great. I'll go see it. I'll see it. Great. I go last Monday on the morning of my birthday to try to do rush tickets. Cause I'm like, what a great way to spend your birthday at a Broadway show. And I don't get rush tickets. I'm literally like 2 people away from getting them and they sell out of tickets, and the tickets they had for sale just like weren't worth the price for me. I was like, damn it, whatever. So I keep entering the rush. Wednesday night, I get 1 ticket all the way in the back of the orchestra. I was literally second to last row in the orchestra, but I just did not care. I wanted to be in the room, and thank God that I did, because it was the most fun I have ever had at a Broadway show. And I think the most fun you will ever have at a Broadway show. I have never been to a show that is so lively and exciting and full of joy and celebrating queerness and celebrating people of color. And like, it was just such a fantastic experience. I cannot recommend it enough. And that is not groundbreaking information. Like, everybody who sees Cats the Jellicle Ball knows that this show is incredible and like it's getting nothing but rave reviews. But like, from my mouth, to your ears, go see Cats the Jellicle Ball. It is worth every single dollar. I had the time of my fucking life. I have truly been like consuming so many movies, so much like theater. Like it's been a busy week, but you know what? We can't complain. You know, it's all good things. And I'm very thankful to be in this position. And I just still cannot believe that I interviewed Anne fucking Hathaway on Monday. Like fucking crazy. The interview isn't out yet. It'll be up on the MTV socials probably in the next week or so. So you'll see it on my stories because I will not stop talking about it. I will be sharing it, reposting it. I will probably have it like projected on my casket at my funeral. Like, this is absolute career highlight. And I am so excited for you guys to see the interview. I mean, it was 1 question, but still, that's 1 more question than most people get to ask Anne Hathaway. So I will take it. All of that being said, enough about me. We have such a stacked show this week. Holy shit. So without further ado, let's hop into the show and kick things off the way that we always do with our Drew releases, our new music releases from last week and our new releases coming out this week. Now, last week, I didn't have anything on my docket. Like, I wasn't looking forward to any releases. And then I realized that there was a release coming out that I don't know if I would say I was excited for, but I did have my ears and my pinky up, if you will. Cat's Eye dropped their single Pinky Up, and they've been teasing this for a while. We've heard it on TikTok, and like it leaked a while ago. I didn't listen to it, but I knew it was like coming out, whatever. Very smart move. They dropped it right before their Coachella set, which we'll chat about in just a bit, but I'm having a hard time with Cat's Eye. And if you've been listening for a bit, last summer, I was like really into like their festival run, not Coachella, but like they did a lot of Lollapalooza. They were like doing the festival junket. And I was like, wait, I'm kind of into this. Like they are kind of doing their own thing and I'm loving it. Like I love Touch. I loved, what was that? Not Gnarly, but that other song that was really viral. Slipping my mind, but I was like, I'm into what they're doing. Gnarly was like a bit of a stretch for me. I was like, this is literally like word salad set to a beat, but like I understood why it was so catchy and like why people were so into it. I wasn't necessarily like putting it on, but I was like, all right, you know what? Like everything is gnarly. Like I get it. Now we have their follow-up single, Pinky Up. And now I don't know what it is, but I just can't get behind this song. Like the beat is good. That ending, the last like 15 to 20 seconds of this song, incredible production. Like it is such a good beat. It is so sick. The verses aren't that bad. Like they're fun, like shaking ass in the parking lot, whatever she says. Like those, it's fun. It's whatever. But I just like can't get myself to be like, I like this song because I don't like it. It's just like, it's like a catchy word salad earworm that is like stuck in my head, but I'm like, I'm not enjoying this necessarily. And like, I'm a little confused at like what the direction Cat's Eye is going in, especially with like Manon leaving and like all of that going on. They announced their EP is coming out in August today. So like we are getting new music from them and like I'm cheering for them. I'm rooting them on. I really want to see them succeed. They like came from this Netflix show and they, you know, they have this whole hype behind them. Like I want Cat's Eye to succeed and I want to see them doing really incredible things. And they are. I mean, they perform at the Grammys. They're doing Coachella. Like they are doing the career highlights so early in their career. But I want more for them in the sense of like their creative development, you know, like I don't want them to just be up on a stage singing like Fried Chicken Gnarly for the rest of their career. I want to hear a little more substance. So I don't know like what Justin Tranter's plan for them is because he's been writing and producing a lot of their, or I don't know about producing, but at least writing a lot of their songs lately. Like I don't know what the plan is, but I think we need to work on something new for Cat's Eye because they're so talented. I mean, they can dance like no other. They've got like, they can sing, like they're a good girl group, but it's like we're getting a little off target and we're kind of losing the plot. And I really just hope that they kind of like have fun. And like, again, this is coming from somebody who like genuinely thinks the Venga Boys are like incredible music. So like, I like bad pop music. For some reason, this does not jive with me, and I don't know why. I maybe it's just not for me. Like maybe I am aged out of Cat's Eye. Like I don't know what it is, but I'm rooting for them. I'm cheering for them, but I'm like, I've got to sit this one out. Like my pinky is down, I fear. I don't know. We'll chat about their Coachella set in just a little bit because I have some thoughts, but that's Pinky Up. I don't know. It's not going to be on my playlist. So if you're liking it, loving that for you, but my pinky, like I said, is down. However, we did get the official release of Lady Gaga and Doechie's single for The Devil Wears Prada 2, Runway. And I'm just going to say, if you don't like this song, just say you don't like having fun because this song, it's so much fun. It's like upbeat. It's a little like house, a little Vogue. Like I just want to like strut down a runway while I listen to this song, which is literally the point of the song. I'm loving it. I don't get the discourse online about it. I think it is so much fun. It is exactly what I would imagine a Lady Gaga and Doechii track for The Devil Wears Prada 2 to sound like. So I'm not sure where this like hatred for it. Everyone's like, it sounds like a RuPaul song. And I'm like, okay, well, did you guys watch the Lip Sync Lollapalooza and it was all RuPaul songs? It was incredible. It was so much fun. Like, I don't get the discourse about this track. I am loving it. Cannot wait for this movie. There's a rumor floating around. I talked about this last week, but there's a rumor that Gaga's doing an entire EP for the movie, which I have not heard any more about. I cannot confirm nor deny, but if we get an entire Gaga EP for this movie, prepare to be sick of me. And those are all of our releases from last week. But as I said at the top of the show, we have such a stacked list for this upcoming week. We have Olivia Rodrigo's lead single from her new album called Drop Dead. We have Adele dropping a new single called KGB. We have Demi Lovato dropping a new single called Low Rise Jeans. Lady Gaga is finally dropping Mayhem Requiem, which is that reimagined version of Mayhem that she did in LA for Apple Music. Like 2 or 3 months ago, we talked about it on the pod, but she is releasing that this Friday. Jessie Ware is dropping an album this week, which I don't really listen to Jessie, but I have a lot of friends who do, who always say that I would really like her music. So I'm going to check out her album, let you guys know what to think about it next week. And then I don't know if it's safe to assume this, but I just need to say Madonna releasing Confessions on a Dance Floor Part 2. I can't believe this. Like, this is truly the most incredible thing I could have heard all year long. So I don't know if we're going to get a single this Friday for this album. It comes out July 3rd. So we have a little bit of time for it. She has been like kind of moving quick with it. So I wouldn't be shocked if we do get a lead single on Friday, but nothing is confirmed. But like, guys, the fact that we're getting a new Madonna album, but not just a Madonna album, a Confessions Part 2, unbelievable. When I did that Pop Bible episode, which is one of my favorite episodes I've ever done, by the way, when I did my Pop Bible episode, so many people said Confessions on a Dance Floor is their Pop Bible. And like, I have to agree. And like, the fact that we're getting a part 2, unbelievable. And then another one who I'm not sure if we're getting anything from this week, but they are teasing something. Charlie XCX changes her name on her Finsta from 360 Brat to B-Sides, sends out a voice note saying she's been working on something. She posts a picture saying, I love creating things. I don't know if she's going to drop a single this Friday, but something is coming from Charlie XCX, and I will be reporting on it firsthand as soon as it happens. But we have a lot of music coming out this Friday, like a lot to chat about next week. I will probably do a reaction video to Olivia's song because that is really big. So keep an eye out on our YouTube channel for that. But other than that, we will chat all about these releases next week. Very big week for music coming up. I don't know what everybody knows. Like, I don't know what they're all rushing to release for on April 17th, but like, I'll take it. And that being said, that wraps up our Drew releases. And before we get into our moments from the week that were just too pop to handle, I always like to take this time to remind you guys that if at any point during this episode you are loving what you are hearing, do not be shy. Go ahead and leave me a 5-star rating, leave me a review. It seriously is the best way to help support the podcast, and it would mean the world to me. But of course, I need to give you a show to find out if you are loving it before you can do that. So let's hop into some pop culture rapid fire, some moments from the week that were just too pop to handle. And the big story this week is, of course, Coachella Weekend 1. Now, it does feel like this year's Coachella packed a bit more of a punch culturally. Like, Coachella obviously ebbs and flows, and like sometimes the lineup is really, really great. Sometimes there's a few great people on the lineup. Sometimes it's just like a big cultural moment. Like, think like 2016, like that was such a huge year for Coachella, and like just like the fashion and everything. Like, there are years where Coachella does ebb and flow, and this year definitely packs a bigger punch, which is because of the rampant Bieber fever. Like, Justin Bieber is, and this is not to discredit anybody else, but like culturally, everybody is looking at Coachella for Justin Bieber this weekend. And we'll get into Sabrina. Obviously, we'll get into Karol in a minute, but like, the Bieber fever that has taken over the world feels like we are back in 2009. And like, I love this for the Beliebers, truly. Like, I am so happy for them. Now, I will say, Justin Bieber, I've never been like a big Justin Bieber fan or a little one. Like, I've really never gotten into his music. I've listened to him. Of course, I know his hits, and like, Baby comes on at the club and I'm going to be screaming every single word, including the ludicrous rap. Like, he has hits, of course, but I never got into like the album cuts for Justin. So like, some of the songs he was singing that everybody was like screaming, crying, throwing up over, I was like, I've never heard the song a day in my life. I do think I was like vaccinated for Bieber fever when I was a kid or something. Like, I don't know. It just never clicked for me. I was too far up the Jonas Brothers asses. And like, I was very much like JB is for Jonas Brothers. So like, I cannot listen to Justin Bieber, which obviously is very toxic stan culture mentality. But that being said, Justin Bieber's Coachella set was never going to be for me. Like, it was never something that I was going to be looking out for and like super excited for and like wowed by, because he's just not somebody that I vibe with. And what I'll say about Justin Bieber's Coachella performance, because it's very controversial, there's a lot of takes online about it. I'm very happy to see him on stage, happy and healthy and like doing his thing. Like, he has been through the ringer with just paparazzi, the way people treat him. And I know he has a lot of tour anxiety. He owed Scooter Braun all of that money because he canceled his tour. What was that, 2022, I believe, or whatever year that was when he canceled his tour. That's why he owed Scooter Braun so much money and had to sell his catalog because he couldn't keep going on tour. And he has a pattern of canceling shows, I'm pretty sure, which is why there was that rumor that SZA was on standby for him, which she did come out and confirm that wasn't true. But I wouldn't be surprised if his Coachella contract was like crazy considering his track record. He has a history of canceling shows. He got paid a lot of money. Word on the street is that he got paid $10 million for his Coachella performance, which I don't know if I would say that was a $10 million performance. But that being said, if the Beliebers enjoyed Justin Bieber's performance, that is enough for me. That is all that I want this weekend, and at least Saturday. It was for them. Like, I was genuinely so happy for the Beliebers this weekend. Like, I know what it's like to have your favorite artist like stop touring, not do shows. Like, I survived the Jonas Brothers breakup, as you all know. Like, I know what it's like to have a hiatus. I mean, Lorde doesn't release music for 4 years. Beyonce goes silent for years too sometimes. Like, I know what it's like, so I get it. And I truly over the moon thrilled for the Beliebers just that they were going to see Justin on a stage. He could have stood up there and picked his nose and they would have loved it. And I love that for them. Not for me though. I don't know. There's conversations online about like if a woman did that, if a woman sat up there and played YouTube videos and like whatever, it would be a whole different conversation. And I could not agree with that more. Like looking at Sabrina's Coachella set compared to Justin's, looking at Karol G's Coachella set compared to Justin's, like it was such opposite ends of the spectrum. But like, I didn't expect much from Justin's set anyway. Like I didn't see him getting up there and dancing the way that he used to or doing like the big production because like he's not that Justin Bieber anymore. He's grown up and he like doesn't do this really. Like the fact that he even had a stage was honestly shocking to me. I didn't think he was even going to have much. I thought he was going to like be out there with like a stool and a screen and like call it a day, which he did at some points. But like the stage he had, like he did, there was a little creativity to it. And there is something really cute about like watching him singing to his younger self, especially considering the fact that he was discovered on YouTube. Like there aren't many artists who can get up on that stage and sing to a YouTube video of themselves from when they were, I mean, I don't even know how old he was. He had to be what, like 11, 12? Like he was young in these videos. And there is really, really special sentiment there. And like, I can appreciate that. But there is something to say about like, was it artsy? Was it lazy? Was it creative? There's a lot of things you can say about it. But again, if the Beliebers are happy with this performance, and I know that they are, I have so many friends who were in the desert this weekend just for Justin, flew from around the country to be there, and they had the time of their lives. And I am thrilled for them, truly. So would I have liked a little bit more? Yes. But again, I was never looking at Justin Bieber for a groundbreaking Coachella performance. I was just hoping he would show up, and he did, which is all we can ask for. I will say it was so cute watching like Haley watch him in the crowd and her being with like Kylie and everyone. Like she brought her little posse and they were all just like having the time of their life watching Justin. And again, he does not perform often. Like this is a very rare occurrence for him. So the fact that he was even on stage, it's such a huge moment for him. And I get it. Like it's not his judge anymore. It's not what he's trying to do. So we're not going to force him to do it. And even if you look at like Swag and Swag 2, like they weren't lending much production wise. They aren't crazy exciting pop albums that you would do a big Sabrina Carpenter, Karol G performance to, So I think people who were disappointed with the performance, who were like people who aren't me, like people who are Justin Bieber fans and were excited about it, if they were disappointed, I do fear their expectations were set a little too high. I mean, he had YouTube Premium and a dream, and like, he went out there, did his thing. The Beliebers are screaming, crying, throwing up. And like, that's that. Moving in to Sabrina fucking Carpenter, though. Talk about a performance. Like, she is truly a theater kid who got a budget. And look at what she did. That was a Broadway show on the Coachella stage. Like, she brought Broadway to the desert, and it was unbelievable. So I tried to stay up for some of her set, and I did. I think I watched like 3 or 4 songs, and as I was watching it, I was like falling asleep. I was like, oh my God, I'm tired. It was late. But I was like, I don't get what's happening because I only watched 3 of the songs, and I you know, I was tired. I was like, what the fuck was going on? So when I woke up the next morning and I started catching up and watching it, I was like, this is brilliant. Like showing the story of her arriving in Hollywood, walking down the Hollywood Walk of Fame and going into the studios and going into these places and, you know, like auditioning and all of the, like, it was so well thought out and so the production value that had to go into the seamlessness of transitioning between sets and transitioning between the storylines, like the amount of time and effort. I mean, she said it took 7 months to plan this performance and it looks like it. Like it looks like she spent years on it, honestly, because of how intricate these performances and these sets and just all of it was so impressive. I mean, she really is like, she's one of our greats right now. She is this generation's like huge pop girl, I would say. And it's like so exciting to watch her have this up and up because she's been in the game for so long. But again, like we know this come up has been really over the last 3 or 4 years with Emails I Can't Send. That was kind of the catalyst into this new era of Sabrina Carpenter. And we've just kind of continued to watch her fully develop into this mega pop superstar who is truly a perfect pop star. And it is just so incredible. You can just tell how much she cares about her performance art and like she loves what she is doing. Even having Susan Sarandon at the end and like the Rocky Horror tie-in from her playing Janet to the Tears video being Rocky Horror themed, like so many just smart tie-ins. I always say Sabrina Carpenter is so smart with everything she does. And this is just a prime example of how truly brilliant she is. And the fact that she's able to like put a show like this together, it's only for 2 shows. Like it's not like she's doing this on a tour. I mean, maybe she will, but like I can't imagine taking that level production on the road. It would be a very expensive tour to continue to put on, but like it's just so impressive to watch her continue to blossom into this truly perfect pop star. This was fantastic. Of course, she did have that scandal with the yodeling, and like I understand why people were upset by it. There was a level of like disrespect with what she said, but it wasn't meant to be disrespectful. It was Sabrina's performing at Coachella. Why can we hear the yodeling over the mics? Like that was crazy. Clearly was loud enough. And why can Sabrina have a conversation with this girl from the stage? Like I understand if a celebrity has a conversation with somebody on a stage at like Madison Square Garden, where you're in like an arena. She was in the desert. How was she able to have a conversation with this girl from the stage? I think her apology was totally fine, totally acceptable. And like, while we have Donald Trump as our president, Sabrina Carpenter cracking a joke about somebody yodeling at her Coachella set is kind of the least of our worries. Let's be real. Like we've got to reprioritize there because we have a rapist in the office and Sabrina Carpenter cracked a joke at somebody yodeling during her Coachella set and people are up in arms over it. Like we've got to get a grip. I didn't think it was as big of a deal as it needed to be, but she apologized. We're good to go. We moved past it. And then, of course, our third headliner for the weekend, Miss Karol G, the first Latina headliner in Coachella history, which is just incredible. I mean, given the fact that Donald Trump is our president and like we are living in a very scary world for everybody who aren't rich, white, straight men, like seeing a Latina headline Coachella for the first time is incredible. And like, there is something to be said about the fact that like it's 2026 and we haven't had a female Latin artist perform at Coachella as a headliner, but that's neither here nor there. I'm glad that we have somebody, and Karol put on such an incredible performance. The production value, the dancing and the fire and the costumes and everything about this performance was so it was so Coachella, like it's what you want. There were special guests and there were big choreography moments and she was up there like literally putting on it was like an Olympic performance of Coachella. Like she really pulled out the big ones. I don't listen to Karol G's music often. Like she's not an artist that I rotate through, but I do respect her art and respect like what she has done in her career. And like watching her performance, I was like, this is why she's the first Latina headliner. Like she fucking killed it. It was incredible. I also love that she brought out Becky G because when she did Coachella in 2022, Becky G came out. So that was like a cute little moment of them kind of redoing that moment. Really, really special. Really incredible night for her. Like the fact that, she's just making history, doing her thing. And like, if you have not seen any videos from this performance, because I do feel like it kind of got overshadowed with Justin on Saturday, which does suck. But like, her performance was unbelievable and everybody should go watch it because it was fantastic. Some other sets that we had from the weekend, I will say my main event for the weekend was Addison Rae. Like she was the one I was most excited to watch. She was the only performance that I watched live beginning to end. I mean, try not to say mother. Like, I just love Addison Rae. I feel so bad for people who do not get her. Like, people who don't understand the Addison Rae of it all. I genuinely feel so bad for her because it is so much fun. Like, she is just such a fun pop star. I love her. I love what she is doing. I think she is just so much fun and, like, doesn't give a fuck. She gets so much shit and so much hate for just, like, becoming successful. It's like, because she started on TikTok, it's like this big problem in the world. What is the problem? Like, I don't get why people have such an issue with people and where they start. It's like, if someone wasn't discovered on the streets of New York City and like then becomes the biggest performer ever, nobody wants to hear it anymore. It's like, yeah, she saw an outlet and an avenue to become a pop star and she took it. She has always said that she wanted to use TikTok to get famous so she can pivot and become a pop star. And now she is doing it. She was on the main stage. It was incredible. Addison Rae, you will always be famous. And this was just, I loved it. Even bringing out Maddie Ziegler, like, unreal. Like, just such a cool little way to, like, have a little cultural moment and, like, not do a collab, not do a duet or anything. Just, like, have somebody dancing with her. It was just, Addison Rae, you will always be famous in my book. I'm obsessed. Somebody else who I'm obsessed with, Slater. She performed at 3 p.m., which is so wrong that it's right. Like, Slater's music should not be danced or performed to in the daylight, but somehow the vibes were correct. Like, something about this, like, worst girl in America, middle of the country aesthetic that she has with these, like, fur shit hanging out of her pockets and, like, the Budweiser and the cutoff shorts and the white t-shirt, like, I hate to say this, but, like, the trashiness of her aesthetic right now somehow made sense for a 3 p.m. set. It was so cool. Like, seeing Slater do this headlining, not headlining, but like her Coachella set and having that many people at her set, knowing she's been doing this for like 6 years at this point. The energy was great. People were having the time of her life. She had so much fun. I still cannot take Worst Girl in America off repeat. This was a great weekend for Slater. And then another one who I just love oh so much. I have been cheering for her for the last like year and change, ever since she opened for Olivia Rodrigo last summer. Flower of Love. I just love her. Seeing her play Coachella and like seeing her she's so fun. And like she always comes out of like a big giant object. It was like a shoe last summer. I don't know what she came out of at Coachella. I saw a TikTok of like something pink, but I didn't watch the whole video. But like she just has so much fun. She's just like a ray of light. Her music is so poppy and girly and she's just like sunshine and a human being. And she has this whole bit online that she like is 46 years old and like she just like makes all these stupid jokes on the internet. And I can't get enough. If you're not listening to Flower of Love yet, listen to her now before she blows up, because I feel like she's about to have a huge moment. She's doing Coachella. She's doing Gov Ball. I don't know if she's doing Lollapalooza. I'm not sure, but I know she obviously did Coachella. She's doing Gov Ball. So like she got a big festival run coming up. So I think she's going to have a moment after this summer. Get into her now. She's going to be a fun one to watch. And I've been watching her for a bit and it has been very fun. So I'm just excited to watch her continue to grow and, you know, blossom into more of a flower than she already is. Some special guests that we had over the weekend, because I feel like Coachella is just like a breeding ground for special guests. Lizzo showed up at not one, but 2 sets. And like something about coming out as a Coachella special guest, there's something so exciting about it. And like, there's this mystery of who's going to bring out who's showing up at what set. And like, I believe first she came out at Kaytranada set and then she came out at Sexy Red or vice versa, whatever. It doesn't matter the order. And they were on the same day. It just feels like you do one. You don't come out at 2 Coachella sets, you know, like that kind of kills the vibe of the second one. And then also makes the first one be like, oh, well, everybody saw her at Coachella. So like, it's like everybody gets a ride, Staten Island Ferry, you know? It's like, oh, okay, I guess. And like, you guys know I'm a Lizzo apologist. Like I'm into this like new redemption era she's doing. I liked the single she just put out. Like I do like Lizzo, but I was just like, why do we have to come out at 2 Coachella sets within like 2 hours of each other? I saw the videos of her like twerking on the Labubu and then like twerking behind Kaytranada's set. And I was like, this happened literally within 45 minutes. Like she walked from one stage to another. It's not that special anymore. Like now you're just a guest. It just seemed a little, I don't know. I mean, I guess if she's having fun and like if she's gonna do it, I guess, but I don't know. Something I do know that I loved is Pink Pantheress having Tyreek Withers be her Romeo. I mean, come on. Like, so perfect. He is literally the internet's boyfriend right now. This was such a smart move on her part. I loved this. So much fun. Genius. I wonder if he's going to come out with her weekend 2 or if she's going to have somebody else be her Romeo. So I'm very curious and tapped in for that. And then we had Cat's Eye. So there's some layers to this. Obviously, there's some drama with Cat's Eye right now because they are not performing with Manon right now. And there's a lot of backlash because she is the only Black member of the group. And she's, you know, originally was for health reasons, but it's pretty evident that like she just wasn't being treated fairly in the group. There's a lot going on with Cat's Eye. And the fact that they performed without Manon was very shocking because there was back and forth. There was like, they're going to perform, they're not going to. Just upsetting that she wasn't able to be there and like to be able to perform with them for their first Coachella set. But the fact that they brought out Huntrix at their set, it's like, on one hand, iconic because Huntrix is having this crazy year. They're winning all these awards. It's like so exciting to watch like a K-pop group, you know, doing all these big things. But then it's like, damn, you could bring out these 3 girls, but you couldn't bring out the member who's in your group. It was just a little like, ugh, but it was iconic, you know, like it was still pretty fucking major. Like that's huge on all parts for Cat's Eye to be performing at Coachella and then having Huntrix agree to come out and perform Golden, which is like really the song of the year. Also for Huntrix to come out, like I don't think Huntrix could do a Coachella set if as like headliners. I just don't think they have enough music. Maybe they do, but I don't think that they have enough to like pull a crowd at Coachella and do an entire set. They could do like a 3-song set maybe, but like I don't think Huntrix themselves right now could do a full Coachella set. They could pull a crowd, but they couldn't do a full 30 to 40 minute set is what I'm saying. So seeing them come out, like it is fun to see them come out with Cat's Eye and, you know, they're all like applauding for each other and there's like girl power on stage. But then there's like Manon who's walking through the desert and is like, damn, they're performing without me. And now Huntrix is on stage. It's like just a little, I don't know, a little strange to me, but what are you gonna do, you know? And that's kind of like my Coachella recap. It wasn't, the lineup this year wasn't that wow to me. Like I said, Addison, Slater, Sabrina were like my top 3 that I was looking forward to. And like, other than that, like last year's Coachella lineup was like so good to me, at least, that like this year's was a little bit of a miss, but like still looked like fun. Like I said, it would definitely pack a punch culturally more than usual. The Bieber fever was running through the internet and running through the desert. So happy for the Beliebers. Weekend 2 is coming up very quickly. And Casey Musgraves will be performing. She got announced as a surprise performance, I think at like 3 o'clock on the Mojave tent on Saturday. Her album comes out in like a week or 2, so it was perfect timing. Very excited that she's returning to the desert. I think the last time she performed at Coachella was for Golden Hour, I want to say. I think, I could be totally wrong, but I feel like it's been a while since Casey did Coachella. So very exciting to see her back in Coachella at the desert. What a fun little surprise for weekend 2. And weekend 2 is the weekend where it's like, that's for the music, where weekend 1 is like the influencers and the outfits. So I'm excited to see like who they bring out this weekend. You know, what's a little bit different about weekend 2 versus weekend 1. Sabrina does have like 15 extra minutes tacked onto her set. So I'm assuming there'll be a special guest at her set. So always exciting to see like what's different from weekend 1, weekend 2. But that is Coachella 2026. We'll chat quick about weekend 2 next week. I'm not going to go into depth. I'll just chat probably like any crazy special guests, but I won't do a full recap again because weekend 1 is the one that really obviously packs the punch. But yeah, that is Coachella weekend 1, 2026. Another one in the books. Moving into our next moment of the week, that was to pop to handle. Demi Lovato has kicked off her It's Not That Deep tour in Orlando, Florida. And she had some very special and very nostalgic guests. So she brought out Joe Jonas. They performed This Is Me and On the Line. Now, obviously, Demi came out at opening night for the Jonas Brothers tour at MetLife Stadium, which I was there for. It was incredible. They did This Is Me and Wouldn't Change a Thing. And now Joe is coming out as a guest at her opening night doing This Is Me On the Line. I cannot believe they performed On the Line together in the year 2026. Like, Joe Jonas and Demi Lovato doing anything together in the year 2026 is fucking crazy, but like specifically performing On the Line, unbelievable. And that's not even the most surprising part of the entire night. The real surprising part to me about this entire night is that Selena Gomez was in the house, which if you were a Disney Channel kid, you know the lore with Demi and Selena, and like they were literally best friends from Barney. They grew up together. They were like connected at the hip. I mean, Demi and Selena versus Miley and Mandy. They Princess Protection Program. Like they were really connected at the hip, and then they just had a drift. You know, there's different stories that float around. Some say it was something to do with substance abuse. Some say it was like Selena and Taylor becoming closer friends, or, you know, her and just, there's like so many different theories as to why Demi and Selena drifted, but it doesn't really matter because the two of them came together and they reunited at opening night of Demi's tour, which I really never thought we would see the day of them. I mean, of course we would see them together at like an event maybe, but like Selena going out of her way to go to Orlando for opening night is so unbelievably special and like truly feels like it healed something in all of us. I don't know. There's been like sort of weird tension with Selena and Demi over the last couple of years. And like, I think it was Demi on Keke Palmer talked about Selena very briefly a couple months ago, which that was a great interview, honestly. It was a very, very fun podcast. I mean, anything Keke Palmer does is fun, but like the Demi one specifically was fucking hilarious. But yeah, Demi talked about Selena very briefly. And I think Selena has talked about Demi recently as well. They've talked about each other in press a little bit here and there. And like, it seemed like it was kind of like they grew up and they moved past it, but we haven't seen them like together like this in years. So seeing them together backstage, Selena being in the crowd and like just so exciting and like truly does feel like a healing moment for all of us Disney Channel kids. Now I do have to say, I can't obviously just talk about Demi's story and not talk about her actual performance because she looked kind of miserable on stage. Like she looked like it almost seems like she's trying too hard to like serve and be cunty and act like unbothered. And it's like, nobody's asking you to cosplay Charlie XCX. Like nobody's holding a gun to your head and saying you have to act unbothered and cool and wear your sunglasses and act like Charlie XCX. Just be Demi Lovato. Like just go out there, do your Disney knees and like do what you got to do. It's like, even her set is like a giant warehouse with like a garage door and it's like very like clubby warehouse. And it's like, I get that was the vibe of the album, but, and I love that album. I think that album is incredible. But like, even in the rollout, I was like, this feels so inauthentic to Demi. And like, this tour feels very inauthentic to Demi. I don't think I'm going. I would love to go see Adele. I mean, I'm happy that Demi is touring and doing things. Again, similar to the Believers having Justin, I'm happy the Lovatics have Demi on tour, I guess. But I was watching these videos and I was like, wow, girl, you couldn't look more uninterested if you tried. But I don't know, maybe it was opening night nerves. Maybe she's like getting the groove of it. I don't know. I was like so thrilled over the Demi. I was so thrilled over the Selena and Joe of it all that I was like watching more videos to be like, wait, this is so exciting. Like what else is she doing on tour? And I was watching some of the videos and I was like, do you want to be there? Like, do you want to be on this stage? You don't have to be if you don't want to. Like, you could do something else, but I don't know. I mean, I hope she's having fun. I hope she has a good time and like, go off, girl, I guess. I don't know. Moving into our next moment of the week that was just too pop to handle, the battle of the Alixes. Alix Earle, Alex Cooper. It's all going down online right now. This story has been so long overdue. This has been brewing for quite some time. And like, I'm going to give you guys a TLDR and like what's been going on. But like, if you've been watching what's going on with Alix Earle, Alex Cooper over the last like year and change, like 2 years and change, actually, there's been something strange going on. And like, it's kind of been like a slow roll. It's kind of been like a slow boil. And it appears Alex Cooper is at her boiling point. So Alex Cooper, who hosts Call Her Daddy, if anybody is normal and not chronically online and like isn't brain rotting on the internet, Alex Cooper is the host of Call Her Daddy. Alix Earle is just like the top mega influencer in the world, basically. That's all you need to know. Alex Cooper posted a video on Monday, basically calling out Alix Earle and saying, hey, there's no beef between us. I'm seeing you like comments about me. I'm seeing you repost shady things about me. If you have beef with me, say it now. Otherwise, drop it. Like, I'm out. I'm done doing this. Either you're going to say what you want and like, you know, call me out and say what happened, or we need to drop this and like move on. And I don't think Alex Cooper is wrong for calling her out. Like, I think it's fine for her to say like, hey, I'm tired of this drama. I'm tired of like this false narrative going around the internet, because like it has been this like weird looming thing on the internet for the last couple of months, honestly, almost probably like a year and change. So if anybody is normal, like I said, and doesn't know what's been going on, basically the TLDR, Alix Earle, huge TikTok influencer. She signed with Unwell, which is Alex Cooper's network, in 2023 to have her podcast podcast Hot Mess on her network, which is huge. I mean, any girl would dream to be on the Unwell Network. Alex Cooper has truly like cracked the code when it comes to podcasting, and I think she really does have a brilliant mind when it comes to like influencing and content creation. So it is a huge deal, especially in 2023. That was when Alix Earle was like just becoming like an it girl. You know, she was already very popular on TikTok, but that's when she started to like pierce the culture, and like that's when she started to become like a household name. So she signed with Unwell, like this huge deal, and she has a show for like a year and change under Unwell. And then out of nowhere one day, she stops the podcast, and then Alex Cooper announces like, oh, by the way, we dropped her, like we're no longer working with her, but she owns the IP, she's allowed to do the podcast, like we don't own any of that. So Alix Earle's dad is a businessman, and I believe he manages her, like has a very big say in like what happened. So I imagine that Alix Earle and her dad had a very strict contract with Unwell that like they weren't allowed to like keep the Hot Mess IP when she left, which was very smart. So, and I say this with love, but like Alix Earle doesn't need to have a podcast. She's not somebody who needs that medium, you know? Like, I think she's so good at Get Ready With Me and vlogs. And like, people want to see her partying. People want to see her out and about in the world. Like, people don't necessarily want to see her sitting down every single week and talking. So it did well because people love Alix Earle, but like it wasn't shaking things up, you know, the way like a Call Her Daddy or Las Culturistas does. You know, it's not a podcast that people are going to for like groundbreaking content. And I say that with love. I enjoy Alix Earle's content, honestly. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm like a very big YouTube guy. I watch so much YouTube, and I would say Alix Earle is like my B list of content creators. Like once I cycle through, you know, Miss Remy Ashton, Alicia Marie, Kristen McAtee. Once I cycle through like my A-list girls, Alix Earle is on like my B tier, and I really do enjoy her vlog content. But anytime I used to try to watch her podcasts, I was like, I don't really care about this. It just isn't the medium for her. So I think it was like not clean, but like a smart move on all parts. So over the years, Alix Earle has been like liking and reposting stuff. She was like liking all of Sophia with an F's content when she was announcing her book that's basically going to like expose what happened with Call Her Daddy and like whatever. So there has been some shady things, and you know, it's like, if you have something to say, like Alice Cooper said on Monday, like just say it. She did say in the video on Monday, there's no NDA. So like you can say what you want. You can come out and say whatever. And Alix Earle commented on the video and said, okay, on it. And that's kind of the last that we've heard. So Alix Earle is kind of the ball is in her court. I do feel like from a PR standpoint, she's running out of time from saying something because now it's starting to feel a little fabricated. And it's like, you should have just gotten on TikTok and like said it on Monday or Tuesday, like when this happened. She did post a video this morning, and it was her friends vlogging them showing her the video. It was her sister and her friend. I forget her friend's name. I think it's Sally. Yes, Sally and Ashton. I hate that I even know all these people's names, but whatever. It was Sally and Ashton, her sister, walking in and showing her the video, and she like gets up out of bed from Coachella. She like smirks and she goes, "This just made my whole day." So it's clear that like Alix Earle is ready to like say what happened, but Alex Cooper is like denying that anything actually did happen. I don't know. People are saying that they think it's PR. I don't think it's PR. Honestly, I don't think this would help or hurt either of them at all. Like, I just think this wouldn't be a PR move because like, even if it was to promote Real Actives, Alix Earle's new skincare line, like that ship has sailed. Like, the announcement happened weeks ago. They had a Coachella house. Like, she doesn't need Call Her Daddy to promote her skincare line. I don't think. They sold it out in a couple of hours. So like, I really do think this is like a genuine, like, what the fuck is happening kind of beef. Obviously I don't know these people, but like my firsthand experience is like, I did meet Alix Earle at an after party 2024 question mark. It was when I went to the PCAs, and it was while I was doing the pod. Yeah, I went, it was the February after I started the podcast. So it had to be February 2024. I went to the People's Choice Awards. They invited me to cover it. And then I went to the after party, and Alix Earle was there, and my friend is one of her friends. So we were all kind of like chatting, and she was lovely, truly like so kind. You would think a person who is that gorgeous and like perfect would like not just chat with whoever and, you know, would be a little uppity. She was nice as can be. And of course, this was years ago. She was at an event where there's cameras up and stuff. I don't know this girl other than that one experience. I'm just sharing my one interaction, but she was truly so kind. I remember like texting Thomas, my boyfriend, and being like, I just met Alix Earle and hung out with her for a few minutes, and like, she was nice as can be. I was like genuinely taken aback by it. So that's my experience with Alix Earle. As far as Alex Cooper, I do have an old coworker who used to work with her before she started to call her daddy, and they are incredibly close. Like to this day, they are constantly in contact. And like this woman who I know has no reason to like fabricate anything. Like she is a very cut and dry New Yorker. Like she calls it how it is, but like she has said nothing but nice things about Alex Cooper. So like I've had firsthand experiences from either myself or somebody telling me that like they are nice girls and nice people. So who knows what happened behind the scenes and who knows like what's going on. But like I am very curious to watch how this unfolds. There is now this whole beeline plot line because Brianna Chicken Fry, who I'm honestly tired of hearing about after the whole thing last summer with like Zach Bryan and all of that. It was just like such like a crazy whirlwind, and the Grace O'Malley of it all. Like, oh my God, I actually can't get into it. Like I'm actually getting hot thinking about it, which by the way, it's also like 90 degrees in New York. So if you hear my AC kicking in here and there, I'm so sorry, but like you've got to deal with it. It is fucking hot. We are having record breaking heat in New York this week for April. So like pray for me, praying for my girls in New York this week. It's going to be brutal. But I don't know. It's just like, this has been such like a long awaited beef to be kind of squashed. And I'm like, we might be getting to the bottom of it finally. Like, I'm very curious to see how this all unfolds. But I also do understand like how ridiculous this sounds. How like we are literally like, oh my God, Alix Earle did this, Alex Cooper did that. And like, there's so many people online who are like, I thought they were the same person. You know, like I understand how ridiculous reporting on this is, but like, this is like big internet news. And like, as somebody who was very on the internet, I'm like, what is going on with the Battle of the Alexes? What's going on with Earle versus Cooper? Which like, when you say Earle versus Cooper, it sounds like a tow truck company, you know? It's like, it's such crazy last names compared to like who they are as people. I don't know. I'm very curious to see like how this unfolds. Like I said, Alix Earle, time is ticking. Time is ticking, and you've got to release a video soon and like say what is happening, because otherwise your PR clock is running out. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to say what, who's going to do what, but all I do know is that I am the first person in my bloodline to know about the Alix Earle and Alex Cooper drama. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. I have built this, I've built my Chronically Online life brick by brick, and I'm cool with being the Chronically Online family member. And that's fine with me. Speaking of being Chronically Online, this next story, you guys, holy fucking shit. I have been dying to talk about this. I thought Alex were going to be like the biggest story of the week. Lena Dunham knows about the Lord and Jack Antonoff PowerPoint. Sit with that. And if you don't know what that means, I'm sorry. This is not for you. Like this is groundbreaking news. So rewind a little bit. Lena Dunham has released her memoir, Fame Sick. And in the memoir, she announces or reveals, I guess, that she cheated on Jack Antonoff because he was getting close with a teen pop star. She said that she cheated on him around the same time that Jack developed a closeness with a teen pop star, which she said struck an odd note. She goes on to claim that Antonoff stayed locked in a room with a teen pop star whose needs seemed as massive and complex as my own, and who called me Aunt Lena when I hobbled into the kitchen with my walker to get a bottle of green tea. So if you are uneducated on the Jack Antonoff, Lord Lena Dunham conspiracy theories, let me open the schools and let me get class in session real quick, because this is a Roman Empire of mine. So obviously, if you know me, you know that Melodrama is my favorite album of all time. Has been since I heard it. It's tattooed on my ankle. Melodrama, I don't think any album truly could ever top Melodrama. She worked very closely with Jack Antonoff to make this album, incredibly closely. And while they were making it, there were some photos of them that were surfacing, and they were like all over each other, very like not lovey-dovey so much, but they were hanging on each other, and like they were seen together a lot. So it was around the time that Lena and Jack split. So it was easy to assume that the target in the situation was Lord, and that Lord was coming between the two of them. Now, they have denied this. They said this didn't happen, but like there's clearly something there. I don't think Lord and Jack actually ever dated or anything. I do think they just have like a weird, very close platonic thing. I just see them. It would be like kissing your brother almost, you know, like it would be like Taylor Swift and Jack Antonoff hooking up. It would just be weird. I don't know. Like, I don't see them actually doing anything, but I understand where like it does cross a line. And like with love, Lena Dunham definitely is a little more sensitive, I guess you could say, with things. Like, I do think where she could see a situation like this and like take it in a way that was like, holy shit. So she says this and people are like, oh my God, teen pop star. There are some people online saying this is about Taylor Swift. And to them, I say, please read a fucking book. Like, they're like, Taylor, like Lorde was 21 when the album came out. No, Lorde was 20 when the album came out, but she was writing it while she was 18, 19. She literally says in Perfect Places, I'm 19 and I'm on fire. So the teen pop star in question is without a doubt Lorde. I would go to bat. I would put money on it. This is about Lorde. This is not about Taylor Swift. She continues to go on and she says that I wasn't paying attention, but the internet sure was. And they made some pretty amazing PowerPoints on the issue. So convincing that they had me rethinking events that I myself had been present for, which there's so many layers here. First of all, the fact that like, for years, people thought that Jack cheated on Lena and that's why they split, because they thought that Jack cheated on her with Lorde. And now we're finding out that Lena was insecure and cheated on Jack because of his relationship with Lorde. Earth-shattering information. Like, truly earth-shattering information coming out of this memoir. But then for Lena to say that she is aware of the PowerPoint about Lorde and Jack, which if you do not know about the PowerPoint, there is a viral PowerPoint that goes around the internet every couple of months. And it is this girl who made it. And it basically breaks down all of the reasons and like theories as to why Jack and Lorde were together. And it is this like cohesive, expansive. It is like I posted a TikTok and a thread about this and like they're both going viral and everybody is like, the girl with the PowerPoint was right. Like, it is a huge internet joke. And like, this is a huge moment for the girl who made the PowerPoint about Jack Antonoff and Lorde. Like, I hope she's having the best day of her life, because like, this is fucking crazy, let alone like finding out that Lena cheated on Jack. The fact that she knows about the PowerPoint, the fact that Lena Dunham knows about the Lorde and Jack Antonoff PowerPoint, this is why. Like, this is truly fucking crazy. And like, I don't know what's crazier, the fact that she knows about the PowerPoint or the fact that she cheated on Jack. Like, there's so many layers to this. And like, people are in my comments saying like, oh, it's not about Taylor. So it's like, let's not fabricate the story any more than it needs to be. This is about Lena Dunham, Lorde, and Jack Antonoff, and you cannot convince me otherwise. And now personally, like, I'm not a huge Lena Dunham fan. I don't dislike her. I don't like her. I'm kind of just like neutral with her. I've never been like a diehard. I know she has like a cult following. I don't know if I'll read her book. I know Jacqueline, who I'm sure is listening, so hello, my love. I know Jacqueline has the book and will probably read it, so maybe I'll borrow it from her. Maybe I'll have her Spark Notes it for me. Let me know if you're reading it, anybody, and what your thoughts on this are, because I, for one, I'm gagged. I mean, there's also this whole like Adam Driver plot line where he like punched the wall and like threw a chair at the wall. I feel like there's a lot in this book that has been like brewing in pop culture for a very long time, and it's all coming out. So very curious how this book is. So if you have read it, if you are reading it, let me know, and let me know if I should read it. As somebody who's like not a Lena Dunham fan, like I don't know much about her. I'm not like up on it, but like I am up on the Lorde, Jack, and Lena of it all, and this news is fucking crazy. Now, the final moment of the week that was too pop to handle. This is a quick one, but something I feel like I had to chat about. Britney Spears has voluntarily checked herself into a treatment facility. And I honestly am very happy to hear this news. You guys know we talk about Britney at lengths on this podcast. Since the day that it started, we have always talked about Britney and always cheered her on and rooted for her wellness. And after her DUI, her team and her did say that like she's going to take the proper steps. So I do imagine these are the proper steps that she's taking for, correction and making sure she gets into the right headspace. It is a center for drug abuse and alcohol abuse. So I don't know, necessarily what she's going to treatment for. I'm assuming both, unfortunately, which like I hate to say, but like it's safe to assume there's a little bit of play in both. But seeing her take this step and seeing her kind of move into this next, era, I don't think we'll ever have the Britney that we all grew up knowing and loving back. Unfortunately, I think she's a little far gone for that due to the things that they forced her to take, like while she was in the conservatorship. But I hope that this treatment facility and like, you know, this moves her into a different headspace and she's able to kind of just like get clean, get sober, and like turn her life around a little bit and just like, you know, be able to live the life that she wants. I don't know. It felt weird not reporting on this, but there's also like not much else to say other than like, very happy that she's taking these steps. And I really hope this is like a wake up call and like a big shift in her going forward. So very happy for Britney and I hope she is doing well. And that wraps up our moments in the week that were too pop to handle. I told you there was a lot to pack into this week. Moving into our TV recap, I have not done my homework. I have not watched Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Like, you know, I was busy touching elbows with Anne Hathaway the last 2 nights. But I did watch Euphoria and I posted a whole review on TikTok and on YouTube. And I've decided I'm not going to recap Euphoria on the podcast because I never recap scripted shows. But I'm going to do weekly recaps of Euphoria on TikTok. So if you want my thoughts on Euphoria, you can go to my personal TikTok. I'll have a link down below, but it is just at Andrew Nucatola. And I will give you my thoughts every single week on Euphoria there. And I'll keep the reality shows to the podcast. I think that's the best way to do it. Do scripted shows on TikTok and then do reality on the podcast. I will catch up on Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I am very sad. I haven't been home. Like I've been so busy and just out and about that I have just been like, I haven't had a second to catch up on it. I think I'm going to watch it tonight with Thomas. But I'm sorry. I haven't done my homework. And the Lollapalooza, like I said, I knew Juicy was going to win. I'm not recapping the entire Lollapalooza, though it was interesting that they had Juicy join in the 3rd round because they knew she was just going to beat everybody anyway. So it's like, you might as well save her some breath and just save her to the end. But yeah, skipping the TV recap this week. I apologize. I am so sorry, but I did see so many way and so much else going on. So, you know, there's been a lot going on. Been a busy boy. And that being said, we have made it to the final segment of this week, our yes and our mess. We end every single episode of Too Pop to Handle with a yes and a mess. A yes being something I am loving and a mess being something I am not loving. And we always start things on a high note this week. And my yes this week is kind of not one specific thing. It's kind of like a blanket statement. And it's just the way that Hudson Williams is feeding us and giving us what we want. Like he has truly continued, him and Connor both, but like this week, I feel like they trade off. Like Connor gives us some like slutty little moments and then we get some from Hudson, and Hudson has been whoring himself out on the internet this week for our entertainment. First we get the Leve music video for Mad Woman, which was a fantastic video. Let me say, like it was so well done, so like retro vibe. I love the storyline. I love the costuming and the whatever to it. Like it was a really great music video, really killer song. Hudson Williams climbing out of the pool in Leve's video and then like winking at the camera and then flexing and just looking oh so scrumptious, like. He is the gift that keeps on giving. And then we also get his Peloton ad, which I do fear if I give more intel on the Hudson Williams Peloton ad, I will get banned for explicit content because it was a lot. There's a lot going on that man. And I watched the video a few too many times and I want to admit, like it did it, you know, it was just, I'm no better than a straight man. Like, I'm sorry. Call me thirsty, call me horny on main. Like, I don't care. Thank you, Hudson Williams. Thank you for blessing us with every angle of yourself this week on the Peloton, in the pool, wherever it was. Know that I was watching every angle. Know that I'm very thankful. Yeah. So I guess now we'll wait for Connor to slut himself out. Because we did get Connor's Verizon video a couple weeks ago where his ass is very present in those jeans. Like, a pair of jeans has never fit a man's ass better than Connor Story's Verizon short film. So Connor whored out a little bit. We also had Connor on SNL, you know, in his little Speedo. Like, we had some Connor moments. Now we're getting some Hudson moments. So unless they're trying to like actually kill us and they want to do something together soon, next up we'll have Connor whoring himself out again, which I'm all for. I look at them both equal. You know, I don't discriminate. I'll take either of the heated rivalry boys same time, separately, whatever they want, I'm signed up for. So now that I've been incredibly horny on Maine, let's switch topics into my mess. My mess this week is, what is this silence that I'm hearing on the internet now that Chappell Roan has been debunked as this evil child hater? You know, everybody was jumping down Chappell Roan's throat a couple weeks ago when that soccer player said his daughter went up to Chappell Roan and her security guard went and yelled at her. Well, now the soccer player, has come out and said that he has confirmed and spoken to Chappell that the security guard was not part of Chappell's team. And he apologizes and he says, Chappell Roan made a public statement, reached out privately to Catherine, and our teams also spoke directly. It became clear that she had no knowledge of what took place at breakfast and had not asked anyone to approach them. She was understanding and sympathetic to what happened to our child. The security guard himself has since confirmed publicly that he was representing another artist at the hotel at the time, which Chappell told us right after, but nobody wants to believe her. But now that this has all come out, everyone's real quiet. What happened? Everyone had so much to say about Chappell Roan when she's painted as a villain. But when it's debunked and proven that she wasn't a child hater and sending a security guard to go bark at a child for staring at her at breakfast, nobody wants to speak up. Really, really interesting things happening with the peanut gallery on the internet this week, who usually is down Chappell Roan's throat. And now that there's proof that she wasn't an evil, malicious cunt towards this child, everybody zip lip. Just makes you think. I don't know. It's just, it's something. But with that, we have made it to the end of this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode of Too Pop to Handle. If you liked what you heard and you're listening to us as a podcast, please go ahead and leave us a 5-star rating. It would seriously mean the world to me. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe, drop a comment, hit the like button, do all the things except for dislike and unsubscribe. You guys know the drill. If you would like some extra moments of the week that were too pop to handle in between podcast episodes, head over to my Substack. I will have it linked down below, or it is just toopoptohandle.substack.com. And you can sign up for my weekly newsletter popping in, where I share extra pop culture moments of the week that are too pop to handle every single weekend. And I do some fun other pop culture moment, like writing there. I just did a really fun piece about like question I need answered in The Devil Wears Prada. I share like music recommendations there. I have a lot of fun on Substack, and I feel like I'm building a really cool community there. I do have a paid tier there where you could pay $5 a month to get an extra piece of content from me. And this is very embarrassing and vulnerable, but like I did it for a month and I did a piece every week and I got 0 paid subscribers. So I just stopped doing the paid content. But like, if anybody wants extra content from me, the way to like signify that you want it, sign up for my Substack. If I got 1 new paid subscriber, I'll start doing paid content again. But like, nobody signed up for my paid content, which it's fine. Like I get it. It's, times are tough. I understand. But like, I haven't been doing the 1 paid content a month because I have 1 paid subscriber and it's my aunt, which like, she's not going to be mad if I don't send her a post every week. We text almost every day. Like, we text pretty regularly. So if anybody does want extra content from me, you can go to my Substack and pay for it, I guess, or just get the free content. I don't really care. I just like writing and doing things for you guys. So if you guys want more, let me know. If not, I'll just shut up and stop doing so much. But if you do want more and you do not have $5 a month, I understand, times are tough. You can always follow me on social media at Andrew Nucatola or at Too Pop to Handle and get extra moments. I can't believe I just said all that on the internet. I interview Anne Hathaway and I just don't know how to act. What I was saying is, if you want extra stuff from me every single week, you can always follow me on my social media channels at Andrew Nucatola or at Too Pop to Handle, because clearly I do not know when to shut up. I'm going to get off the mic. I'm going to let you guys go, and I will catch you guys next week. Bye.